Good morning, everyone. How's everyone this morning? How are we? As they say in the great city of Liverpool. Oh, did I put the link in? Hang on. Select a stream. Oh man, it's Friday. Whew. The biggest mistake I made this week was watching the news. His deadline delivery method thing, man, that stressed me out more than I thought. That's crazy. I am ready for the weekend. Holy cow. Just like the song. Oh man. What's up, Raj? How you doing? Seriously, if not for you guys, I wouldn't even be watching this. But I am, and there's a lot of stuff to talk about. You know, when I started trading retail, I found Market Profile. I didn't know what the hell they were talking about first. Then it started to become clear the more and more I looked at it. So much so, it got so clear that I could see things so clearly that I'd get sucked into watching and forget to take the frickin' trade. Right? So that's why I had to come up with that 5-step thing, how I do it every single time, and this trading methodology only at the edges of discount, or you're shorting only at the edges of maximum price extortion, right? This profile here, if you use it in a practical way, now you don't have to have this, okay? I'm not saying you have to have Market Profile, but man, you can learn a lot from it. And even if you don't have it, you can use the principles it teaches you to actually make some money, right? And if you have time, from an academic perspective, it's pretty cool looking at distribution, because you can see accumulation, distribution at a higher price, which brings in more buying, right? It's just like when I was running nightclubs. You got a 3-hour lineup, people will go stand in line, right? If you could hold price higher, right, they come in, right? Remember Field of Dreams, build it, they will come. That's what we used to say when we were taking a company public. You build that stock chart, buyers will come. And that's exactly what happened this week. This week, we had a record amount of short covering. That article is posted in the JJ commentary section. Please check it out if you're learning how to trade. Right? So everyone's short under 66.97, 6,700. Everyone's short under there. Hey, Zeth, what's going on, brother? That's a big short position. And anytime we came close to it, look at the lows. Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. I was looking for a look above and fail of 68.58. If we don't get that, it means that they don't need to lower price yet. So you want to think of yourself if you had 20,000 contracts and they're coming for it and they're buying it. I mean, they're not coming, it's not like Black Friday where they're coming in and trampling your security guard, right? It's not that kind of buying, right? But it's steady, constant flow of customers. Sell 2, sell 5, sell 10, sell 2, sell 5, sell 10. It's beautiful. It's just constant. Look at it. So you can distribute. We are in a distribution here. This distribution brought in buying, right? We have forced short covering. There is a lot of forced buying in this market. So, how do we trade this? Longer term traders, it's the weekend. Now, jeez, right? Remember how we talked about trading, right? In these market times when it's volatile and it's also, we don't know what the hell's going to happen. And weekends are when he messes with everybody, right? So if something weird comes out this weekend and we do a look above and fail, Sunday night, I have no idea what's going to happen today. I think we're just going to go sideways in a tight range today. If we take out that overnight high, be careful on your shorts. If we do a look above and fail and come under 68.58, you know, you could do your short. You know there's going to be buying down here between 20 and 47. No, wait a minute. Where is that? Right? That's the short position, right? So you got a massive short position. You got a short position here from 68.30 to 47.75. So that's where you're going to be expecting bids if the market breaks 58. Sometimes what happens if it breaks bids, comes in here, finds the bid, and then does this on a Friday markup, be careful out there, okay? So if you're shorting, short, wait until it gets under 54. Put your stops 58.60s, right? And then put some bids in, right? Say if you short 20, 30 contracts here, you know, line them up 2 by 2, just like Noah, right? 2 by 2, and let them hit you. If they don't hit you, you go and cover. That way you have a less risk weekend. I don't recommend going position long over a weekend in a time of war unless you've got, you know, unless you're Daddy Warbucks, right? I mean, hey, listen, if you're trading 10, 15, 20 million dollars, you make your paper, boo-boo, right? You have a trade thesis and you can afford bigger expenditures, right? Higher business expenses, right? So a 20 grand loss on a $20 million account is not as bad as a 20 grand loss on a $2,000 account, right? So that's what I'm talking about. We do have people who hold, right? I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen on Saturday. He's going to say something. Sunday, everyone's waiting. Monday, it gets retracted. And it's this seesaw. So I'd rather wait for the news event to occur and then take the trade, right? You know, it's like when you take a big rock and you throw it into a little puddle of water. I would rather wait till the rock hits the water and then I can see where the waves are going. You guys get what I'm saying? Right? I want to wait for the rock to fall, hit the water, and then I can see which way the waves are going. Right? This way you don't end up with water all over your Levi cotton dockers. Right? Yeah, the only way to tell if Raj predicts gap up or down. Oh, you know, you can bribe Raj, Nathan, right? All you need is a buttload of sugar, donuts, cake. He's very bribable. Oh, man. You know, if we were all on a trade desk right now, the only thing that we would be talking about is what bar we're going to after the close. You want to know what's really going on at a trade desk? That's what's really going on. Everybody's like, "Where are you going? What are you doing? Are you going anywhere?" No, we're going. We're going to the beach house. For those who had that kind of thing. So let's see. Do we open on a gap? We're creeping up on it. Let's go take a look. Oy. There's the previous day high. There's that big stop run. Right? Brought in some nice little buying. Not a lot. It's all double digits on the way up. So they didn't really get to sell a lot. Let me take a look at my other system. I think it's got better data. Oh, I got a bunch of 11s too. Huh. I don't know if that's a misprint or... Anyway, not a bad little distribution up here. Not a bad distribution. Here's where the overnight inventory was priced. 57 to 58. Taken and sold here. They're trying to get rid of it all above 69. That's not bad. Let's see if we can move that point of control up. I don't know if we'll have time. We got 15 minutes. Right? This is like Smokey and the Bandit, right? You got to get that Coors beer across the state line in a certain amount of time. 3,600 contracts. We got to pump out another 2,000 contracts here to get that point of control moved up. What do they do? Texas to where? Arkansas? I don't know. It's Coors beer and you couldn't cross a line or something with it. Anyway, to Atlanta. So, but they have only a certain amount of time. Right? We have 14 minutes to move that point of control up. So we need some sucker to come in and buy 2,000 contracts. So we can say, okay, it was a good distribution, put it on sale a little. Right? Overnight inventory it's short until we move that point of control up. Right? The other thing that we're considering is, do we open on a gap or do we not open on a gap? I have more questions than answers. When I have more questions than answers, I got to wait for this thing to open up, right? And see who comes into the dance, I can't predict order flow. It'd be nice if we could. A lot of people are trying, right? They're using mathematical modeling and so they can be first to hit the bid or take the offer or position before the move. There's our stops. See the distribution? This is pure distribution. Yes. If your friends and family, DB, have a few extra $1 trillion kicking about, then you can get them to be the buyers. Oh, not a silly question at all, Sticky. What you do is you look at the close and you see whether the volume is under the close or over the close. So if volume is over the close, they say inventory is long and you're looking for a move down. So, right, so say there was more volume above the close, like say if it was here, you'd be looking for this. If the volume is underneath the close, you look for a corrective move up. Now those corrective moves, according to the market profile guys happens 60 to 70% of the time. So it's not guaranteed. But here's how to use it. If overnight inventory is long, and there's a 60% chance that it's going to correct down, and it doesn't, then the market's trying to tell you, hey, right? As my buddy in the building, Mario says, he goes, hey, vato, they don't need to sell it that cheap, right? If inventory is long and it's not correcting lower, that means, hey, there's buyers. Why would I sell it lower? What do I got, rocks in my head? Get it? Now, if inventory is short and it's supposed to 60, 70% move up, and it's not moving up, it's like, hey, Vato, you got a seller, right? You got a number of sellers, right? Right? You got somebody pushing down on it because sellers are competing to get rid of their product. Sticky selling, jam selling. There you go, sticky jam. Those two belong together. TBD's selling. I'm selling. Nathan's selling. Zeth. We're all selling at the same price. One of us is eventually going to undercut the other ones, right? So when that starts happening, even if inventory is short, it means that the buying isn't there and we got to get rid of this stuff as quick as we can. Because wholesale, they speed date with inventory. Right? You know, like speed dating. Hi, how are you? What do you do? Where do you live? Da da da. Yeah, okay, yeah, nice meeting you. Click, done. Next. Right? They want to hold inventory for microseconds. In and out, in and out. Even a tick. You run 1,000 contracts through $12.50. That's not bad money. Remember, wholesale moves size. Who will buy if you all sell? Wholesale will, Ismail. Wholesale will buy if you all sell. You guys are a flea on the ass of an elephant. Now, if BlackRock gets out there and starts hitting bids, that's another story, baby. That's why I say don't panic until you see 3, 4, 500 million shares of Apple going across the tape. No problem. Retail is getting more volume in, right? We're trying to drive more retail into this market, right? We want more people trading, more people investing, so we can take their money. The more people who come into a market, the more accessible we make it for people, the more people come in, the more people on my side, the more money they can take. More new customers. Welcome, welcome. Right? We'll make you feel good about that trade for about 2 seconds. Right? We'll make you feel good about your trade for 2 seconds. Right? In Vegas, you get tickets to a show, maybe a steak dinner. We will make you feel good for 2 seconds before we take all your money. Right? So that's why you got to learn where to trade, when to trade, where do you put your stop, what are the business reasons for taking these trades. Right? So, in the spirit of that, if you sign up to the Trading Syndicate or tradingsyndicate.org, you get 3 days for free. It's $19 a month if you stay. And those who are signing up today off of YouTube, next week I will be doing a one person will win a trading session, a coaching session with me one-on-one. That you can record and you can keep the recording. And it'll be on Zoom, just you and me. So if you guys are interested, if you sign up for the room, that is available. The big guys do need your money, Herbie. Right? Institutional size traders need your money. Plain fuel is not cheap. Those big yachts, man, it takes a lot of money to fill the tank. You know, institutional people, they have ex-husbands and wives they have to pay. Jet fuel, you know. What does that one private equity guy say? He has 2.5 nannies per kid due to his role. Have you guys ever seen PE guy? He's on Instagram. Oh my God, he's a guy who makes fun of private equity guys. What do we got here? We got 10 minutes to go. Oh, he's hilarious. He's just hilarious. Yeah, if you have a good trading day, guess what? You're not Paul frickin' Tudor Jones, right? Remember one thing we learned, and I think this was in Liar's Poker. He goes, in this business, as soon as you start patting yourself on the back, you're gonna get a swift kick to the nads. So fast that it's gonna make your head spin. I've done it. You've done it. Everyone's done it. Everybody goes through the same spanking machine. Soon as you start getting too big for your britches, you get taken out to the woodshed and you get given a dirty beating, right? You know, it's like the market humility distribution system. Right? We're only one trade away from humility, as Marv says. Marv is like a prophet in the movie Wall Street. You know, we are just one trade away from humility. Dirty deeds done dirt cheap. That's what it used to say on the back of my business card. You lost 40% of March's gains. Jesus. Why do you got that much money in a brokerage account? March's gains should have been in your bank account. Oh, it's a funded. Yeah. And you didn't withdraw March's gains? You know, the thing is, and I hate to say it, guys, I've been trading small. You got to trade. You cannot trade with your ego in this market. You can't trade with your ego in this market. You're going to end up in the poorhouse. Yeah, consistency, consistency. Yeah. Well, we all make mistakes, just don't do it again. Don't make a habit of this. Right? So you fucked up. You know, you probably should take a day or two off. Go over your trade journals, look at where you screwed up. Look at what triggered you to screw up. Look at where you lost sight of the business and let your ego override what you were seeing on the chart. Listen, it happens to all of us. Happens to us in business, it happens to us in trading. And guess what? Trading's a business. Right? Trading is a business. Anytime you let ego starting to creep into your business, you're going to get hammered. So, you realized it. Go sit and think about it, Nathan. Don't try and make it up today. Because then you're going to be trading off the back foot. Yeah, I would actually, if I were you, if you lost that much money, I would stop. And dig. You know, after an operation or a business plan goes bad, you need to assess why. If you keep trading, there's going to be no time for reflection. And I'm not beating up on you. Everybody does this because we've been taught to have a 10-second attention span. And you don't want to dig into why you fucked up. I know, I've done it my whole life, right? Sometimes you got to sit and go, how did I do this? What triggered me to do that, right? There's no reason for you to start trading on a Friday because you're going to be too eager to overcorrect. That's just me, though, right? Now, I've been in the business 34 years and I've never blown up a brokerage account. I've never blown up a brokerage firm. I've never taken down a clearing firm because I know when you do things like that, you affect the lives of other people, right? You blow up a brokerage firm, a whole bunch of people lose their job. So that's why we think the way we do, right? Yeah, so you're over trading and you want to trade today. Any light bulbs going off? We are in a 71-74 balance, Jam. Remember, the position is underneath us, Jam. Where are you? Where is the position? So for us to put price on sale, it means we really have no buying. If we can open outside of yesterday's range, we can create some buying. Yeah. See, and that's another problem with retail. And I only figured this out by being retail. I didn't know this when I started trading retail, right? In order to be successful at retail trading, sometimes you got to sit and watch a market. And because it's like, oh, I want to do heart surgery. Have you ever watched anybody do it? No. I watched it a couple of times on YouTube. I'm good. Oh, I screwed up. I killed a bunch of people. Oh, but I want to kill some more people on Friday, right? See where I'm going with this? Right? You know, you might want to take the weekend, relax a little bit, and maybe crack open an anatomy book. Know what I mean? You showed a nice look below and fail in execution without showing the bid moving higher, and how would you enter? If the long candle made the low. Stuart, I like to wait for the next candle. I like to wait for the next candle. If that one candle did the look below and fail and it made that low, I would like for the second candle to confirm it. Oh, we're open. Sometimes you don't get the chance, Stuart. So sometimes I will miss that trade, right? You can't get them all. If I'm really dialed in and I can catch it quick, I can grab it by buying the ask. Now let's see if we could stay above 77. Because if we could stay above 77, we are going to go up and we are going to tickle that overnight high. So let's see. If you're trying to do a little long here, and you're buying the 78s, right? You're buying the 78s. Your warning level is the previous day high at 76, and I would be out by the close, right? So if you're long 78, now you know that there's a seller at 80, right? So say it holds 77 quarter, and you start picking up some contracts in this next candle, right? Right? 78.29 long, right? And I put the offers out. It's not moving, right? It's not moving, right? So by the time it gets to 77 and a half, 77 and a quarter, I'm gone. right? Trading a breakout is hard because you got to remember that size traders are selling into the breakout. So if we hold 75, we're going to come back up to 77. If we can't hold 75, right? If you can't hold 75, we're kind of drop down into these 70s, right? They should stop selling at 75. If they can't stop selling at 75, it means that there's no buyers, right? I'm looking at this offer and it's not looking strong on the upside. You see that? So this is actually a look above and fail of 77 quarter. But if they don't stop selling at 75, then the trade works. You need it to come down here into the 71 half because that's where the position is before we opened up this Megillah. Right, here we go. So it's very easy to buy this, add here, and then maybe you'll catch a bid at VWAP and you can get a move up. But I don't like to trade that way, right? I like to trade with the wind at my back, right? I don't like fighting against the market, especially as a retail trader, because you're fighting with a plastic spoon. You don't even have a plastic knife. So now we're right in the middle of that position, Jam. Do we catch any bids? Not yet. Wait till they show the bid, right? So look above and fail or a move above 77 didn't work. So I'll be looking for a look below and fail of 65, 66. If it holds 71, I need to see some proof. You got three candles that that are hacking and sputtering like a 1972 Dodge Dart with a slant 6, and it's minus 35 outside. It's not looking healthy here, right? So what you want to do is you want to let it warm up, right? So you know where the sellers are. If we don't catch a bid here, we're going to VWAP. So I'm not on the ball. I should have been short 73, 72. Now, yesterday's position is here. The overnight point of control is here. So we should dump back into position, find a bid, and then start coming back up. They're front-running VWAP right now. If the bottom of these two candles hold, we're going to go up here. 72 and change. Okay? These people are trapped long above us. So we have to absorb that. If there's enough buyers, we'll stay above VWAP and we'll do this. If not, we'll break VWAP and come down here. This way you know how to manage your expectations. Hey, Taco, what's going on, man? There you go. So you grabbed a little at 68, 69, 70. You know, sell them. Sell them like you stole them, my friends. Sell them like you stole them. I understand why you want to trade big size. Making $250 a point is great, but do you have the capital and skill to do it? You could have the capital. Do you have the skill? Right? Are you consistently profitable? If you are, then you can start. If you're not consistently profitable trading smaller size, dear God, don't try and trade size. You're just going to do nothing but lose more money. You got to be honest with yourself. If you don't have the skill to do it, if you can't make $50 to $100 a day and keep it, what makes you think you're going to make 3 to 5 grand a day? I mean, you got to be smoking something pretty strong, right? There has to be a hint of reality. You get what I'm saying? I mean, I would love to fly a plane, but maybe I should go to flight school first. It's a business. So once you start thinking like that, you're not thinking like a business person. You are thinking like somebody who's in fantasy land, right? And there's nothing bad to dream, but you got to go put in the work, brother, right? You're not going to be Mr. Olympia if you've never sat in a gym or never, set foot in a gym. You've been with us for a while, so, you've been trading for a while. Sit and go, am I consistently profitable? Am I paying my bills doing this? Okay, now I want to increase my business. How do I increase my business? How do I systematically increase my business? What methods do I need to use? Right? So how can I do this in a controlled manner? Just throwing size at stuff isn't going to work. You got to learn how to manage a position. The other thing is when you're trading size, how good are you at admitting you're wrong quickly? What are your brokerage firm's commissions like? All of these things you need to consider, right? And if you're ready, great. But if the answer is no to any of those questions, for the love of God, save your money, right? And you'll just end up frustrating yourself. Right? You got to have some sort of respect for the business. right? At some point, you got to grow the hell up, right? It's great. Making excuses is great, right? I need a psychologist. I need a proctologist. I need this. I need that. You got to frickin' grow up and go, okay, I'm an adult. This is a business. This is how I'm going to conduct business. Otherwise, we're just going to Atlantic City to see, and you're not even going to see tickets. You know, you're not going to see Wayne Newton. Come on, fucking grow the hell up. Right? Devil's advocate is great, but in business, who gives a fuck? Excuse my language. Sorry, but you guys need a fucking reality check. Sorry, you know, I've been sick for 2 weeks, right? And people have been kind of like, you know, but you could tell after a while in this market, people start getting a little nuts, right? It's a tough market. It's a tough market, right? And when markets get tough and people aren't making money, they start, you know, they start getting this, I'm Paul frickin' Tudor Jones, right? I'm George Soros, right? I'm going to trade size, bada bing, bada boom. Right? You need a fucking reality check, man. It doesn't help me to lie to you. So you can play devil's advocate, but you're a broke-ass devil. Right? Position is between 68.67 and 68.72. Right? I'm sorry, I've been throwing F-bombs this week. I have not been feeling well. Right? So, and I do not handle this forced stupidity of making excuses for bad behavior in business. Right? You got to grow the hell up. Are you going to make money? Are you going to do this as a business, or is this like where you golf once every 3 or 4 months? That's cool too, right? But I'm trying to conduct business and help you guys. You know, you guys need to learn, right? Otherwise, you're just going through the same loop of losing money, making the same mistakes. Like, unless that's fun, look at that A low, right at 60, 68, 66 half. Right? We're right on top of the position of the overnight and yesterday. So we're distributing. Right? We had to put it on sale all the way down here. There's a seller at 72. They're not going away. Right? So we might have to take out these stops down here in the 62s. Right? We don't have a lot of buying coming in. No, I was too busy giving someone shit to take the trade. I haven't traded since that trade I took. I think when we a little earlier. Took it 2 times. Nice work, Michael. Well done. Right? If I can't take it, you do. That's great. Not a bad trade at all. 2 times 3 points, that's 6 points. There you go. Now let's see if that bid holds. That's your business reason. You see there are buyers there, you step in front of them, buy a little bit. As they push the price up, you sell into it, right? That is what a scalper does. That is the definition of scalping. Find the bid and work off of it. There you go, Michael. As they'd say in the old days, now you're a $5 broker. Yeah, I wish making money the wrong way was repeatable, because all the mistakes I've made in life, I'd be a frickin' billionaire. Right? I'm sorry I've been a little rough on you guys this week, but when you have grown-ass men not taking it seriously, it kind of fucks it up for everybody else. You know, we get a lot of people who come into our trading room and they go, you know, some of the stuff people write in that room, I can't take you seriously. That's why I'm trying to keep you guys on the rails so you don't go off the rails, right? Because in these markets, there's a look below and fail of 65. Should you be long? I don't know. I don't trust this buying. I see selling and selling and selling, right? I might miss this long, right? If I was in the zone, I'd probably try to buy 67 or 68, but there's a seller at 70. So there's not a lot of meat on the bone just yet. We still got to clean up all that inventory from 71 to 77 here. Do we have the bullets to keep it over VWAP? That's what I'm thinking right now. That's what you should have in your trading notes, right? There's a liquidation. It's doing look below and fails of VWAP and 65, but the sellers keep moving lower and lower and lower. I don't know. I figure somewhere on earth there are people who want to hear the truth. Right? You're entitled to your opinion, but you're not entitled to the facts of how something actually works. Right? See, it's trading heavy. The sellers are coming in. Right? So if I was looking for a long, if I was a short, I'd be patient as hell. Right? No, leave it alone right now. That's the smartest thing you said all week, Stuart. Wait until it goes under 68.60 and comes back up. Give them some time to work this out. At some point, some size buying will come in. When that happens, you'll see the offer start moving higher. Right now, inventory is above us. Thank you, Truth. Data at 10. It's not a trigger, Top C. I'm just trying to keep you from keeping your head up your culo. Right? Because if you guys would take your head out of your ass, you might make some money. Right? That's all. It's not a trigger. Right? Just get tired of people fucking around when it doesn't work. Right? That's all. I'm getting old. Right? It's hard to entertain foolishness the older you get. Right? I love you too, man. Sometimes you need a kick in the head. That's the business. We all need it sometimes. A little attitude adjustment. Okay, let's get back to work. Right? So, if you're building a little position here, say you think, you know what, this thing's going to hold and I'm going to go long. Because it's choppy as hell, and the look below and fail, okay, it works for maybe 2 points. Watch over the next couple of candles if it can hold 66. Because if it can hold 66, you can go long a little bit and sell into this strength, knowing that you're going to have a 72 seller. But if it takes out 66 and your stop's going to be 64. Now, if you can't afford those kind of business expenses, that's okay. Not everybody can, and that's cool. But if it's holding here, you know, you're buying some 68 halves, quarters, 68 flat. If it gets under VWAP, you'll trim a little bit. You know what I mean? And you got your offers out, right? You know that there's a seller here, right? So you know that there's a seller at 70, right? So you put your offers out, 68, 13 long, 3, out at 69 and 3/4 on 1, out at 70 on 2. You're in and you're out, right? That's how you do that. Ooh. You guys see that? So I said, if this candle holds, you can buy a little bit, but as soon as you're long, you go throw your sell orders out because you know there's a seller there, right? And if I get over 70, great. Couple of points here, a couple of points there, right? Now, if you're building any kind of size, right, you say you picked up 67, 68, 10 contracts. I'd be out of half of them by now at 69.70, right? And then just scale them, right? Put them out 2 by 2 at every tick. See? Now that trade is a low stress trade. There you go, Nathan. You're done. Have a great weekend. Right? Low stress trading. Right? Because the drug companies make enough with blood pressure medication. We don't need to give them any more money. Right? We want to take low stress trades on a Friday. Couple of points here, couple of points there. Don't overtrade and then keep that money. Go have a nice weekend. Right? That's how you do this business. Otherwise, you end up sitting in front of the screen, overtrading, getting all upset, right? You're done trading. You lost money on the week. Your girlfriend or your wife goes, "What's wrong?" And you go, because you don't want to tell them that you screwed up on Friday and lost all the money. These things you can avoid, right? You can avoid all that, right? Take the pressure off of yourself, right? Nice work, Ramon. Beautiful. Right? You went from VWAP to the seller, made your money, go enjoy your weekend. Right? That's how you trade for a living. That's how you trade and make some money here, make some money there. Over time, it will add up. Right? I know everybody wants to make 50 grand a day. It's nice making 50 grand a day. I miss it. But I didn't make 50 grand a day trading. I made 50 grand a day selling stock. To make 40, 50, 100,000 a day, it takes a lot of dedication and energy when you are not in control of order flow. Right? It's right. People go, "Oh, I'm going to quit my job and be a trader." It's going to be the hardest job you ever had, trying to make 50 grand a day. Right? There comes another level of stress. It doesn't just flow. So just be aware of that. Look at how controlled these algos are. They stop selling at 71 half. They stop selling at 68 half, 3/4, and they start selling at 71 half because that's where the orders are now. So they're a buyer under 70, they're a seller above 70. And look how slow it is. Look how small the candles are getting. Now, when the next half-hour bar opens up in, a couple of minutes here? Let's see if we get any rush of order flow in when that happens. Could be a bit of a slow start this morning, folks. I think everyone's just kind of, large traders are not going to be putting size on up here, right? So far, we are nowhere near on the lows. That 68.58 that I was looking for. Nowhere near it. All right, our low is 64. 64, my level is 64 quarter. So let's see if we can hold 64 quarter, and let's see if we can hold VWAP and the close and all that stuff in this next half hour. Yeah, it really depends, Stuart. Sometimes it opens and nothing happens. Usually you get a little bit of a bump, right? It's like turning on another garden hose. Or it's like opening another door on a store, right? So you open the south doors and then you open the east doors, right? You get people lined up at those doors waiting to come in. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Yeah, and if you can do 100 to 200 with a funded account, you can use the trade that account multiplier, right? Do I have a B and a C plus setup? Yeah, I don't actually label them, which, James, is a lack of discipline on my part. I really like that look below and fail A plus setup. Once you get a little better at it, right? Once you get a little better at it, what you can do, oh, here comes B period. What you can do is you can go and draw like a zone and then just trade this back and forth. Right? So we got a lot of people coming in, but price is really not going anywhere. Let's see if we can take out that A low. Right? So, Stuart, you got a little bit of a rush. Right? We could split that out, and you could see 2,600 contracts coming in the first half minute. And you can see where every transaction's taking place. No problem, James. Yeah, there are scalp trades that I will take when I see a bid or when I see an offer lift or something obvious, but I got to be really dialed in. To take a B plus or a C plus setup, I have to be A plus 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 in my discipline, in my execution, and how on it I am. If I'm kind of like lazy like I am this morning, right, I'm kind of doing it half-ass, a B plus or a C plus setup, I'm going to screw it up. Right? Very honestly, I will screw it up if I'm not totally dialed in. So B plus, C plus setups are only taken when you are like locked and loaded, right? If you're tired, if you haven't slept, maybe you had a few too many cold ones the night before, right? If you're sick, just stick to the A plus setup. It's just a way to save money. A little bit of size there at 63. Look at that. Exactly. 1 to 2 micros, right? If you're usually a mini trader, I always like to start trading with the micro. I love to start my trading day with the micro because if I'm not really in the, like if I'm not like on the ball and I screw up, then I lose 20, 30 bucks, right? Which is not a big deal. I would rather lose 20 or $30 than 200 or 300. It allows me to test myself. It allows me to test the market. The micro is a wonderful product because more than testing the market, you're testing yourself to see if your discipline is good. How well am I executing? Did I fat finger the trade? Did I execute as quickly as possible? Did I get my offers out in time? Was I fast enough? Am I timing the market right? All of that stuff you get to, you get to use the micro to do that. Right? So we got sellers up there at 69. Got some bids at 62, 63. Let's see if we can stay above 66. If we can stay above VWAP, we'll get up to 68.5 and then back up to 70. So those of you who are looking for longs, I'd wait a little while. I'd really like to wait until this next candle closes if I was going to go long. I want to see acceptance under 64. I want offers under 64 if I want to go short. I do have a checklist somewhere. I just spouted all of that off from what I'm looking for. But that's a good idea, right? Right? It's like a systems check. By trading small. Now it's like when you turn on your car, are there any dashboard lights going off? Is the low oil light on? You know what I mean? Because a lot of guys are like, they worked a night shift or something like that, and they come in, they start trading. They got a sick kid at home. You're not going to be on top of your game. Give yourself a break. I use market profile and I use the candlesticks. That's all you need. The volume's right here. But since I'm not trading volume, I don't really need to know. Like I like to see when the point of control moves up and down, right? So I can see good accumulation distribution. If you guys want to see what we do and how we teach people in a practical way how to make money, come and join us at the Trading Syndicate, right? We got a 3-day free trial. So if you don't sign up on the weekend, sign up on Monday, right? You get 1, 2, 3 days. Talk to me. You can enter this thing where you'll get a free coaching session with me, one-on-one. Yeah, sports, I mean, it's the same thing, right? Gone are the days when Ronnie Lott sawed off his own finger to play football, or when Walter Payton played with like some crazy temperature, right? Those days, you don't need to do that to yourself if you're a retail trader. Market's not going to go away. We're still absorbing volume, right? You can see that size is being acquired a little bit cheaper here. You see that? Position, say averaging down. Looked below and failed the POC from yesterday. We didn't take out the U low. We stopped right at the V low. So the selling's not enough to take out the stops. Yeah, and here I'll teach you how to simplify that whole value area. Value area low and value area high are the bottom of where your inventory is priced. Value area high is the top, right? The value area is where 70% of the inventory of the day or the session is priced. The point of control is where 70% of the goods are priced. So if it's a car lot, right? If that's a car lot, say, if we're looking at just this, right? We've got, mostly kind of high-end Toyotas here. Here are the Lexus things. You got a couple of, nice fancy cars up here. You got your junkers here, right? It's just telling you where your inventory is priced. And most of your inventory is, oh, look at that. Maybe we took in some Toyota Camrys, right? And if that keeps dropping, we're taking in cheaper inventory. It's all about inventory and cost basis, my friend. I love market profile, but they did make it a little too complicated to actually make money off of it. So what I've done is I take the profile and I make it practical. Because all I care about is to give you information that you can actually use to take a trade. Right? Having a bunch of esoteric terms and everything is useless. So we, in this trading room, we take profile and we make it practical. Right? What do I need to really make money? Because you know what? People right now, they don't have time. Look at my guys. They want to trade size because they don't have time to screw around and try and get consistent. Right? Everybody, I get it. No, like I'm a single guy and I've got a girlfriend, but we don't have kids or anything. So we have time. But normal human beings, they got, kids, family, hockey practice, soccer practice, this, that, jobs, right? They don't have time to sit and look at a book for 18 hours to figure out how to trade. So what we do at Trading Syndicate is we teach you bing, bam, boom. This is when you take a trade. This is when you leave it alone, right? This is where you make your money and you get out and then you go and do what you need to do. So you're not sitting in front of a computer for 18 hours a day reading 200 trading books and in the end not being profitable, right? And I'm not saying this in a bad way. I'm talking about personal experience. The more books you read, the worse you trade. Because you can't read a book and be in a street fight at the same time. To be or not to be. That's the sound of you getting hit in the face. It's a thin order book. Look at that. Let's see if we can take out the 70s. Oh my goodness. It is a slow morning in Walmart, my friends. But that's okay. It's Friday. What's going on in the room? You guys still there? Taco's downloading charts like hell from 2010. Nice work, Taco. What is happening now? We're out there with the mop and bucket, Moran. We're cleaning up all those people who are puking into these bids. Short sellers are covering, wholesale's building a little position, but you know what? Like that little kid who sees dead people in the movie. I'm seeing sellers. Seller, 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 seller. Yeah, I want to keep it simple for people. I don't see a short here either, not with that. Ugh, it's just. What do the young kids say? It's sucky price action. You know? Way to battle yourself back there, Truth. Way to battle yourself back. Right? I think I've been a little bit on edge too this week because I know this market's not going to get any easier to trade. So while we do joke around and stuff like that, please don't underestimate this market. Okay? Especially those of you who have never traded in wartime situations. The order flow is very, very unreliable. So what usually happens sometimes doesn't. Sometimes it happens and it happens in a much more violent manner. The order book is thin. Well, it's actually not thin tonight. Oh, that's the micro. I'm looking at the wrong order book. ES could be a little thicker. I mean, it's not bad. Right? It's not like 90s supermodel thin, but it's thin. I mean, if you came in there with 500,000 contracts and showed them, the algos would make lunch out of you, right? You show this market some size, it'll move. Right now, there's no size. Right? So position, what are we going to do, right? We bought all this cheap stuff, right? Right? We bought some cheap bread, day-old bread. You put it in the thing, make whatever the heck you make with day-old bread, and you sell it. Right? Now we're distributing, right? We're walking, we're selling. Right? This is where you make the hot dogs. This is like hot dogs, get them while they're hot, get them while they're hot. See who takes them, right? There's going to be a competitive seller at 73 and one at 72. So you know the sellers are going to be at the top of each of these candles. If you are long, sell into strength, right? So if you were position long 67, 68, banging them out with both hands at 72, 73. Make your money, make your money. Get paid, get paid. Nice. I think we could tag the open. If not, I mean, they're going to front run the open. Taco, if I was long 72, 73, I'd be selling the crap out of 74. Right? If I had to take in inventory on the way up, I'm putting it out at every tick. Because if I don't, somebody else will. Right? If we can hold 73 to the upside, we'll go pop the top at 75. Come on, let's go. Two more ticks. Let's go. Come on. Oh, there we go. Beautiful. To the tick. Now, can we take yesterday's high again? Because everyone who's short has their stop underneath that previous day high and then here. So tactically, if we could take the previous day high, stay bid above it, your target's the 81s. Whoop. Sorry about that. I don't know why it has that whiteout feature. That's so weird. Freaky software. So now we're going to come back and backfill, right? Because you're going to need to slingshot this previous day high, right? You don't have enough buying just to crack it naturally. So you got to bring them back, get enough people short around here, maybe take them down here, buy it all up and do that. But you need the order flow to do it. Let's see. It's Friday. I mean, it would be morally incorrect not to take a stab at that previous day high. Here we go. Can we get the offer above the open? Right? Watch the open and look at the offer. As soon as you get to the open, boom, offer lower, hit and offer, hit and offer. Why? Because you got to distribute. Everybody else is. You can't be standing there with your thumb up your you know what, not selling if you're long 71, 72, right? Everyone's going to take your 74, 75 customer. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Right? If you can't take it higher, you got to take it lower. Here we go. Let's see if we can tickle that 72. Oh, nice, nice, Michael. Which one? People ask me that all the time. If you could tell us which one, that would be great. Not that it's an endorsement. People ask me that same question all the time. Oh, 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 thank you. What's going on, room? You guys awake? Taco had coffee. Nice trading, Taco. Well done. Oh. You had some good coffee, man. What kind of coffee did you have? I'm looking for coffee that doesn't taste like toxic sludge. Oh, nice work, Leslie. Colorado. Good stuff, Taco. Oh boy, now it's getting slow. Right, this is like the standoff at the OK Corral. Oh, point of control moved up. Let's see. Can we get enough people that we can lift the offer and get a 67, sorry, a 76, 77 print? Because if we can take this level out and print that, that'll start buying people in. Mm. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah, they sold into it. See? That's why I don't like trading breakouts. I like selling into a breakout if I'm long. That's what we're taught to do. If you have size here, you will sell into it here. If you have size here, you'll sell into it here. But if we could hold the open, if we could hold this area, right, that 73, 74 area, we might be able to convince some more people to come in and buy. Remember Wall Street? Excuse me, sir. Bud Fox calling from Jackson Steinem. Are you aware of the amazing opportunities that are occurring at buying ES at 68.75? Oh my God, you'll make so much money. Right? I'd pay 78 for it. Right? How would you like to tell your friends at the country club? Oh, it's 74 now? Even better, buy more. Boiler Room 101. Right? If you like it at 75, you'll love it at 73. 71's a bargain. Load the boat. As an infamous old promoter would say, get on the bid, kid. It's a career builder. And then he'd sell you every share he had. It works okay in markets like this, Travis. You want to be careful with stuff in volatile markets, though. If I'm reading the question right. Or that's not a question. All right. Little distribution here between 73 and 76. Uh, I don't know. Can it hold 73? What do you think? If you're short, you'd be using yesterday's high as your stop. man. Remember, folks, the reason that prices often is wicking into levels or wicking very close. Exactly. Exactly, Wizzle. We know where you are going to come in. You know how they say, oh yeah, I don't use stops because market makers will see my stops and run them? We don't need to see your stops to run them. We know where you're going to put your stop because you're predictable, right? Everyone is, right? Retail traders are predictable. They're going to do the same thing. That's why it feels like they're trading against you. Now, once you learn the business, you're going to trade with them instead of fighting them. It kind of helps to know the reason behind why something is happening, right? Because a lot of trading educators who have no clue will say that it's random. Yeah, like I took $1 billion and I threw it into the air randomly, right? If you believe stock markets are random, I've got some oceanfront property in Saskatchewan to sell you. Very nice beach house. Beautiful, only $5 million. It's a bargain. The ocean view is amazing, right? If you believe markets are random. Let's see, can we get some traction? Come on. Oh, it's struggling. Selling one contract at a time here. Right? This is the Smith Barney way. This is the Smith Barney breakout. They earn it. I guess you guys are too young to remember John Houseman. Here we go. Oh, come on. We're lighting the fuse. Is anybody buying this? Oh. If we could hold the previous day high at 76.25, we'll at least get up to 80. We should get up to 80. Right? If they can't hold yesterday's high, ugh. Here we go. Come on. One more tick. Oof. Stop to take a smoke break. There's not a lot of customers in the store wanting to buy the highs on a Friday afternoon before a weekend when God knows what the heck's going to happen. So if you actually think about it and reason through it, you will manage your trading much better because you'll say, okay, you know what? Maybe I only make 2 points on a trade. Where do I make your lives? The trading room is called the Trading Syndicate. So, yep, folks, check out our room. You know, and yeah, you can win a coaching session with me. And that's for Dio Webbers. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. Check out the room. DM me if you have any issues or any problems. People who are just joining the room this week, reach out, say hello. Tell me your troubles. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. Really appreciate you guys. And we will see you bright and early on Monday morning. Get some rest. Thanks, folks. Bye.